Jury unanimously find that the state has proven the following listed statutory aggravating circumstance or circumstances beyond a reasonable doubt. 1, the murder was committed against a person less than 12 years of age and the defendant was 18 or older. 2, the murder was knowingly committed, solicited, directed, or aided by the defendant while the defendant had a substantial role in committing any first-degree murder.
That's a given.
We, the jury, unanimously agree that the defendant shall be sentenced to imprisonment for life.
All right, and that's signed by each of the jurors.
Correct.
All right, you can turn that document into the court staff.
Right. You can say without parole, so that would be without parole. Or, I don't know.
Anything further from the state?
No.
Anything further on behalf of Mr. Taylor?
No, Your Honor.
Which is it?
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I appreciate very much your service for the last week plus to the court and your community. You'll be discharged from this case and from your jury service. You can step down the hallway with the court officer.
Did you else hear what he said? Nothing about parole. With or without parole. You don't mention it in Tennessee. I mean, you get parole or you don't. What strange nuances you have.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you can have a seat. Mr. Taylor, you've heard the verdict in terms of the punishment. Counts 2, 3, and 4 that the jury's imposing a life sentence in each of those counts. That verdict will become the judgment of the court. We'll set this on 9/9 for any sentencing issues, merger issues. And if that date doesn't work, Mr. Brand, just let us know in advance.
Yes, thank you.
All right, let Mr. Taylor step in the back. All right, we'll be adjourned.
It'll take somebody that's local there to describe it. Let me see. You guys can't hear me? Yeah, there's something wrong with my computer, so I'll just go ahead and shut it down. I don't know why they couldn't explain with or without parole. And so if you guys can't hear me, yeah, my audio's maxed out. Okay, now you can hear me. I don't know, is this going in and out? Let me look here on... You know what I'm supposed to type in is a Tennessee murder sentence of life mean with or without parole? I mean, why wouldn't they say that? You saw there's no expression from the defense at all. So you'd think by their lack of expression that means it's the max? Okay. Well, according to AI, which could be wrong, it says a murder sentence designated as life sentence with no specific without parole modifier generally means possibility of parole. Okay. Under state law, a standard life sentence for first-degree murder requires defendants to serve 100% of 60 years minus sentence credits. Because of those credits, the inmate becomes eligible for parole after serving 51 years. So it looks like he did not get life without parole. So that's what I was predicting. Jury came back pretty quick on that. Let me actually look up this Tennessee code because I've had AI completely make up stuff. Legal stuff. It's really bizarre. Something that should be taken directly off a state statute. You can't even trust AI, chat GPT. So now I'm trying to go directly to the actual code. And this may not be easy to find, but let me try to give it a shot. All right, so it's really not, it's about as clear as mud here too, but a lot of wordage here, but so it's not clear. You could interpret things. It seems most clear to me that this is a matter of he's going to do 51 years. So he's going to be parole eligible at 51 years. So that means 81. And as I said earlier, it's pretty much a life sentence without parole because the odds of surviving to 81 in prison are pretty slim. Yeah, so sound is good for some, bad for others. Sorry about that. I'm just going to have to get a new computer and go from there. So either way, it's not going to matter, I think, in the end of it. If you can serve 51 years in a prison and have any of your health or quality of life, odds are very slim. Yeah, well, they didn't get to mitigating, said checked all aggravating factors. I believe it's life without parole. Well, those are two separate things. Aggravating, you can find aggravating, but that doesn't mean you have to find life without parole. Those are two separate things. So even though they had such a terrible defense, the jury, I think, cut him a break and gave him parole eligibility after 51 years. So I'm happy for justice. And I think that it's also justice that they spent all that money on trial all for nothing, and now they can spend money on appeal. Are they going to let their son find appeal lawyers on his own? I doubt it. So now they're going to be paying high-priced appellate lawyers to try to fight it. But I think this one will stick. I think the conviction will stand. I don't see, as bad as the defense did, the kind of stuff they argued and whatnot, that's not the kind of thing that they find gets overturned on appeal. So I believe what's going next is they have a pre-sentence investigation. Yeah, 51 years, it's good enough to be 81. So they cut him a break, even though he did nothing to try to plead for mercy to the court. Protective custody, that's whether it's a baby or not, doesn't really have much to do with it. I don't think there's a lot of inmates that care whether you killed baby and a pregnant mom per se. I could be wrong, but I mean, everyone that commits a murder has a target on their back of different types in prison. So think about it. He'll be housed with people that are like career criminals, people that have been butchering people all their life, grew up in a terrible home and poverty, sleeping with rats and all that kind of stuff. And he's had this privileged, wealthy life, sort of like the Adelsons. He just squandered it all. He squandered it all. So seeming like him, I can see a lot of people looking to target him. Not as much as Charlie Adelson, who tried to blame the Latin Kings, a gang, for trying to set him up. So, all right, with my sound going in and out, I'm going to get sign off. So thanks for your support for justice. Thank God we have a good and proper just verdict for Jade and Iive Benning. And I got to think about trying to get my computer situation fixed, because otherwise I'd like to get on tonight in a couple hours to talk about Charlie Adelson, but I may have to wait a few days, try to get this sorted out. But anyway, thanks for your patience with my technical problems. So y'all take care. Have a good night.